Hello and welcome back to Music Memorabilia Gigs and Gogs. This is a channel basically where I'm just going to share stories of gigs I've been to over the years, review some classic albums, show some ticket stubs and memorabilia, tour t-shirts and everything like that. I've run a Facebook group called Music Memorabilia Gigs and Gogs since 2016 where like-minded people just share all the memorabilia and talk about the gigs of the past and the gigs they're going to in the future. So I thought to myself, well, which album should I go back to and have a look at as my first one? And I decided to go back to 1984 because as a teenager, this was a big deal back then. And I'm talking about Deep Purple's Perfect Strangers. Now, this is an American copy that I have, sticker still on. So it's on the Mercury label. And then I have the British version, which is the same packaging. I bought this on the day of release in 1984, but it's on the Polydor label, which you can see there. But also on the back, on side 2, there was no label. I wonder if that's a rarity or not. Maybe some vinyl nerds will let me know if there is. And also one other version in the sense of that I have a 12-inch single from back in the day as well of the title track Perfect Strangers. Now this wasn't an extended version of it at all, it was just a standard album track, but I got it because it had Son of a Lyric on there, which was not on the vinyl. It was on the cassette version of this album, but not on things, so I got this on a 12-inch single. If you're of my age, tell me how you felt, because this was a big deal, wasn't it? Back in 1984, hearing that the Mark II lineup that hadn't played together for 11 years gave our generation, who were getting into rock and metal in the early 80s, a chance to go and witness this great band. So this album, in hindsight, is a great album, a good comeback album, very strong. The title track is still played in their live set today. Mark IX. Would you believe? And Ian Paice, the drummer, is the only original lineup member, and the classic Mark II members of Roger Glover and Ian Gillan are still there. Sadly, the wonderful genius virtuoso of Jon Lord has sadly passed away, and he left the band sort of 23 years ago anyway. And the mercurial maverick and genius of Ritchie Blackmore also left the band again in 1993. So let me know what you think of this album. As I say, there's some great tracks. The intro track of Knocking at Your Back Door was played live for a few tours, and it had the intro that sounded like Jaws. Dun, 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 dun. And then what other tracks are there? So again, A Gypsy's Kiss, that was played live through the reunion tour. This is very Purple. Loved it. Really great interplay between the band. This is probably my favourite song from the album. You've got the beautiful solo on Wasted Sunset from Blackers, finishes with Hungry Days, and then on side 1 after Knocking at Your Black Door you've got Under the Gun, which was played live. Nobody's Home was also played live on the 84-85 tour, and then Mean Street. It's a really good solid album, a good comeback album. It's bordering on classic. It's not in rock and it's not Machine Head. Tell me what you think. Is it classic? The title track Perfect Strangers definitely is, and on another video I will reminisce about going to see them live, because as a teenager going to the hallowed grounds of Nebworth was just amazing to go and see Deep Purple. And it was also a pilgrimage to go to the place for me where Led Zeppelin had played 6 years before their last ever UK gigs. So let me know in the comments and tell me what you think of the album yourself. It really was a big deal.